Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get into today's video, Huawei App Gallery are doing another campaign, the second for this month. So what they are doing is a 20% cashback on anything that you spend in What Blitz. So you spend money in World of Tanks Blitz and you will get 20% back from that onto your Huawei App Gallery account. So and that you can spend on anything. It is very, very simple. All you need to do is click on the links below and it will show you where to go. Now, of course, you need to download Huawei App Gallery and then you need to download What Blitz from Huawei App Gallery, and then you just need to purchase something in the game and then you will get the 20% points back on your account. It is very, very simple. Very simple. Why not get points back? Why, if you're going to spend money in the game, why not get points back? So do that and yeah, you'll get the points back. So it is very, very simple. The links are in the description. If you need any help or assistance, then head over to Huawei App Gallery's Discord server where there will be someone there to help you. But for now, back to today's video. So a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago or so, we looked at what tanks you could play to win games. Statistically speaking, looking at the stats of these tanks, what tanks that you could win or you could play to win in. Now, we've had a look at tech tree tanks. Now, today, we're going to look at premium tanks. What premium tanks can you play that should, statistically speaking, win you battles? Now, I don't like what we were about to see. So when I did the top 5 tech tree tanks, at number 1, the highest win rate tech tree tank, it was the Type 71 at 57.34% win rate over the last 90 days. Now we're looking at premium tanks. The Type 71, if that was a premium tank, it wouldn't even hit number 6 or 7 in this list. So it's clearly speaking that the tanks to play to win battles are clearly premium tanks. So of course we're going to have a look at 5 of them. And just an honorable mention, at number 6 is the new STRVK. So the new STRVK is at number 6, is at 59.48, 59.48%, and that's at number 6. The Type 71 is 57.34. So yeah, that is what we're talking about. But just getting in there at number 5, it is the T-77, a tier 8 American tank, basically like a tier 8 T-57 heavy. It's not too bad. It's got 2 shells, hasn't got the 3 shells, it's got 2 shells, looks absolutely beautiful. And this is coming in at 59.50%. So clearly, I mean, it's not that popular of a tank. Not many people do own the tank, but clearly people are winning in this tank. 59.50% of people over the last 90 days are winning in this game. That is the average percent in this tank over the last 90 days. So moving on to number 4. Now, number 4, we have the Batchat Borask. Yes, the tier 8 French tank that once upon a time I absolutely hated, but thanks to certain people that made me play the tank, you know who you are, I've become to like this tank, and I've become to like it a really, really, really a lot. It looks fantastic. It is a very small tank. It's an auto-loader again, and yeah, it does take some skill to play this tank. You need to, and this is why I didn't enjoy the tank, because I was playing it completely wrong. But you play it correctly, it's a brilliant tank. It really is. It's got the high alpha gun. It's very, very quick. It does not have any armor whatsoever. So this is coming out at 59.90% win rate over the last 90 days. So even though it's a very difficult tank to play, people are still winning in it. You know, they're still successful in this tank, which is nice to see. It's nice to see a tank that's not overpowered by all means. Like, it's not overpowered at all, but yet people are still managing to get the victory in this tank. And yeah, I mean, it deserves it. It does deserve it, because it is a very, it's not a strong tank, but playing it correctly can be beneficial. Like it's like the Leopard 1. The Leopard 1 could be a brilliant tank played in the right hands. But if you play it wrong, then you're just going to get absolutely torn apart. And this is the same with the Borask. You play this wrong, you're just going to get ripped apart. So you need to play it to its advantages. Again, it's got the high alpha reload. The best thing is to use the mobility of the tank. Just get rid of your 2 shells and then move on. Use that speed to move on, and whilst you're on a reload, and just relocate into a different position. Try to not get looked at, because again, if you do get looked at, then everybody is going to pen you. Just like here, everybody that looks at you will be able to penetrate you. So do bear that in mind. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that this tank is up there. I am surprised, but it is good to see a tank like this up there in the top 4 tanks that are winning right now in World of Tanks Blitz. Moving on to tank number 3. And coming in at number 3, of course, it's the Smasher. Now, the Smasher, I can't talk about the Smasher enough. We're always talking about the Smasher. So I don't really need to give the Smasher an introduction. But I think in this top 5, this is always going to be up there. This is always going to be one of those tanks that just constantly win games because it's broken. It's OP. And obviously most OP tanks will win games. But however, there are some very strong tier 10 premium tanks or collectibles, but there is no tier 10 tank in this list. And there's also no Annihilator. Like, the Annihilator just doesn't exist in this list. However, the Smasher does. When you could do shots like that, it's just so nice. It is so nice to see you do 1,000+ damage to these tanks. And if you're driving the Smasher and you could do 1,000 damage to a tank in tier 7, it's just brutal. Now, the Smasher, we have now just passed the 60% mark. So the Smasher over the last 90 days, the win rate is 60.19%. So yeah, very, very strong win rate there. 60.19% win rate. Very, very beautiful. And again, the side of a tier 8 tank, no problem, 900+ damage. So you can see, I mean, we've got 2.2k damage. How easy have we managed to do that damage? Does it belong in the top 5? Then yeah, I mean, you could do shots like that. It definitely wins games. It definitely wins games. And if people were doing sort of double Smashers or double Annihilators or Smasher and Annihilator, then you're prone to win more. But yeah, the Smasher for me it's not a tank I use to go win games. It's not a tank I use to just because I want to win games. It's a tank I use because it's fun, and yeah, just to see the enemy completely rage. But number 3 at 60.19%, it is the Smasher. Moving on to number 2, just missing out on the top spot. I'm very surprised at this tank. Now, it's a tank when I reviewed that I do actually like. I don't mind it. Not because it's super OP. It's definitely balanced. It's not OP in any way whatsoever. It is the CS52 list. 60.26%. So only just topping the Smasher. But yeah, I don't know why this tank is up there, to be honest. Like, yes, it is a tank that I enjoy playing. But to say that this tank is the second highest win rate tank in the game really does baffle me, because it's not the strongest of tanks. It's just a tank that I enjoy playing, and it's clearly a tank that many of you are enjoying playing because most of you are winning in this tank. So we're going to catch this Carnarvon AFK. He does just come back, but it's a tank that you can't really rely on the armor, but you can get the odd bounce. It's got a decent gun. The gun depression isn't great. The alpha's quite nice, but yeah, I'm shocked that this is number 2. I mean, this beats the Borask, the T50, the T77, the STRV, and the Smasher, Annihilators. This beats them all. This beats every single tank bar 1, of course, because it is number 2. So yeah, I'm very, very surprised. 60.26% win rate over the last 90 days. But yeah, it's not a bad tank, to be honest. It's a Polish tier 7 tank. Again, not the best tank in the world, not the strongest tank in the world, but clearly if you want to win games, go play the CS52 list. Now again, just like my other video, if you don't just take my word for it, I don't want you going to drive these tanks and then losing and then saying, Meadsy, what you on about? I've just played this tank and I've lost. I'm talking statistically. The stats are there for a reason, and the majority of you are winning in these tanks. So that is all I'm doing here. I'm just talking statistically speaking. The CS52 list is the second highest win rate tank, premium tank. Well, not just premium tank, because all these are better than the tech tree tanks, but yeah, the second best tank in the game for win rate currently. So what is number one? And number one is this tank right here, this tier 9 beauty, the Object 752. Yes, I am surprised. I'm definitely surprised that this Stargazer, the Object 752, is on the list. But it is a strong tank, and it's a tank that I absolutely love. Again, it's an auto loader in tier 9, and every review I make of this tank, I love the tank. I really do love the tank. And when you play it correctly, you can obviously win games, because it's currently 60.77% win rate over the last 90 days, which is top of the list. Now, what I'm more shocked about is, like I said at the beginning of the video, at number 6 is 59%, and number 1 on the tech tree tanks, which is the Type 71, is 57. So people are clearly winning more in premium tanks. The Type 71 is one of the most popular tanks currently in the game, but yet every single tank on this premium list beats that Type 71. When you can do a shot like that, I mean, over 500 damage with one shell, you've got 2 shells. You've got 2 shells as well. So you could do upwards of sort of 500, you could do upwards of around 800-900 damage with your magazine. And the reload's not massive either. I mean, 16.7 seconds is not massive. You can see the armor profile can work as well at 2,000 blocked damage. And currently this guy's got 5,900 damage. He does get lucky because there is an AFK, but everybody needs a bit of luck. But we're not here looking at this the game really. We're here because I needed to add a tank's bit of footage for the tank. And as you can see, a nice Progetto 65 that is AFK. So easy damage for our guy here. He only has heat and HE left. He's got no APCR, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to clear this guy, because the DPM is going to drop when you're using the heat. But yeah, very, very nice game from our guy, and a very, very nice tank. So 60.77% win rate over the last 90 days. So is there any surprises for you guys? Is there any tank on this list that surprises you? Now, I'm not surprised at this tank. I'm surprised at it being number 1. I would have guessed it would be in the top 5, because it is a very, very strong tier 9 tank. But overall, out of these 5 tanks, 2 of them I would have guessed, and that is this one and the Smasher. I just would have probably put the Smasher a bit higher. I would have maybe changed them. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is there any tank on this list that you are very, very surprised about? But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye. With